Hi there, I am MisterBo, and in this video we're going to be talking about my honest opinions on the Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 Warehouse Demo that launched on Friday. Now I wanted to give myself a couple days to just sort of sit with the demo, play it as much as I could, relearn the controls, get my muscle memory back, try some of those old lines that I used to do in the original game, to the point where I was pretty much hitting a million every run at least. So I feel like I've played the demo enough now to talk about my opinions, and we're going to go over a couple of things in this video. The overall kind of design and look of this game, how the game feels, things that I want possibly changing slightly, and then my hopes for the final game, which is launching obviously early next month. Before we get into this though, I want to say if you do enjoy my content, then be sure to click the like button because it really helps get my videos seen by more people, and if you aren't already, then subscribe because I'm going to be covering a lot more Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 leading up to the game and then when the game launches. And on that same kind of note, if you want to learn more about some of the leaked data mine information that's come out from the Warehouse demo, including a secret skater, the content you're going to be getting with the deluxe edition of the game, as well as a look at some of the secret levels, then there'll be a card in the top right hand corner or a link in the description below. So let's start off with the presentation, because the presentation in a Tony Hawk's game might not be the first thing you think of when you think of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, but in my opinion, it really does help sell the game, and Vicarious Visions have done an awesome job with the look of this game from the menus. So they've kind of taken the classic elements we saw of the originals and kind of just brought it into the modern age. So we have Tony Hawk here, obviously standing in a location that kind of looks like Venice Beach. You have the text along the left-hand side, which is very reminiscent of the original games. It's kind of got that old 90s font to it with like the dripping paint. And then we have the icons along the top. And when you like hover over each of them, they kind of animate a little bit. There's a lot of attention to detail here. One of the things that I think really stands out to me is the opening of this game when you see Vicarious Visions logo on like the deck, and then when you load into a single skate session, you have these cool like really 90s themed art pieces which just are super awesome to see. They could have easily just put a load of different images from the level you're loading into as the loading screen, but instead they went, no, let's create some cool awesome artwork that again is very reminiscent of the 90s, that kind of skate culture, and put those up as splash screens. You even have like Vicarious Visions bearings down in the bottom right, which is awesome to see again. So visually, in terms of menus and things like that, again, not many people really care about this, but they've put the attention in here to make it feel like those original games, and for me personally, it really pays off. However, from there, let's move into the actual gameplay, the thing that you probably want to hear most about. So how does this game feel compared to previous Tony Hawk Pro Skater games and just other games in the franchise? For a little bit of context in terms of where I've come with the franchise, so I started off with Pro Skater 2 in about 2000-2001. I then went back and played Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. I also played the Matt Hoffman BMX games back then as well. I then had Pro Skater 3 for the PS1, Pro Skater 4 for the PS1 and the PS2. I then played Thug. I kind of skipped Thug 2 for some reason, though I did have it on Game Boy, and then I played Tony Hawk's American Wasteland, and that was kind of the last Tony Hawk game I played in quite some time, until they remade 1 and 2 again with Tony Hawk's Pro Skater HD, which I did play, and I think at the time I really enjoyed it because I hadn't played a Tony Hawk game in quite some time, and they were trying to capture the essence of the original games. We know how that went, but it was a game that I did enjoy to some extent. I then skipped over Pro Skater 5 because I could kind of see from a mile away where that game was heading, and well, we all know how that game ended up in the end. So where does Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 stack up to maybe Tony Hawk's Pro Skater HD firstly? So I hopped onto HD a couple of months ago to get some footage for a video I was doing, and boy, that game does not age well. The controls are just super janky and it just doesn't feel smooth like it should do. The controls felt delayed, it was super slow, the graphics were pretty terrible, it just wasn't a great experience. However, Vicarious Visions have done a complete 180 on that game, and this is smooth, it's quick, it's easy to do the tricks that you want to do. Yes, there are a few little glitches and bugs here that I found when trying to do a wall plant. He maybe just doesn't want to do it and falls straight down flat. I've seen videos of people falling through the level and stuff like that, but overall this game is feeling a lot more like the original 1 and 2 than Pro Skater HD and Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5, which I know a lot of people had concerns about going into this. A lot of people had looked at the original reveal trailers and thought the animations looked a lot like the animations we saw from Robo Turbo Modo. But again, it is far from that. I think what is a real testament to what Vicarious Visions have done here is that they've released just the Warehouse demo. It's a single 2-minute skate session on just Warehouse. You can't upgrade your stats. Yes, you can add different specials if you want, and we'll get into that in just a minute, and that's really it. Now, most people would probably get a little bit bored of that after maybe 2 or 3 runs. However, this game feels so good, it feels so much like the originals, that I just want to run it over and over and over again. The worst part about this whole demo is the fact that I can't upgrade stats to get better, and the fact that I've got to wait another 3 weeks to be able to play all the other levels and to try out all the other skaters. Like, it's killing me. I just want to play this game more and more, and every time I load up the demo, I'm like, damn, I just want to play School 2 or go to the mall or try out the hangar. But unfortunately, we're stuck with just the Warehouse. Now, as I just mentioned, there are some things that I'm not really a fan of in terms of glitches. I've noticed when I've gone to a wall plant, sometimes I just can't get into the wall plant and Tony will just smack into the wall and then bail on the half pipe. I have noticed that quite a few times, but that might just be something on my end. And the other thing I've noticed is I'm using the Xbox controller. I'm playing this on Xbox, and if I hold down the A button and I release it like even just a millimeter, a tiny bit, Tony will jump again, and that's caused me to sort of jump multiple times when I don't mean to. I don't know if this is something to do with just the Xbox controller or if this is something Vicarious Visions can fine-tune. I don't know if this is something that only I've really experienced, but I seem to be jumping when I don't want to be jumping just because I maybe move my finger slightly on the A button as I'm holding it down, and it thinks that I'm taking my finger off when I'm not really doing that. So that is a problem that I've noticed, but to be honest, that isn't a make or break. Now, obviously we don't have everything available to us in this demo, but something that I am excited to see is the unlockables and the different skins and styles you can unlock for your skaters. In the originals, it was only really Style A and Style B, and we can already see from Tony at least that he has 3 different styles, and he also has a load of decks to unlock through completing different challenges. I'm super excited to see how goals will work in this game, to see if they're exactly like they were in the original. Vicarious Visions have already come out and said that they are changing the Pro and 6 scores and stuff like that because of the whole ability to do manuals, reverts, and all those new kind of tricks, meaning those scores would probably be a little bit easier to get. I'm already seeing people do like a 10 million run combo, which is just insane. I can't really do anything like that. I'm okay at the game, but I'm not super good just yet, at least. Something that I do want to talk about is all the different options you have in the menus. So you can change your camera angle from the default to a little bit further back than normal, to a little bit closer than normal, to more of like an original skate kind of view where you're looking kind of down, more at the board level, which personally I don't like. I'm sticking with the original, but it might be more appealing to some people who've maybe never played a Tony Hawk game before and have played the original skate games. Kind of just feels a little bit more home for them. You can also take off all the HUD if you want, so you can't see the balance meters and anything like that, giving you a real challenge. I did have a go once or twice with none of the HUD on, and it was just a nightmare. So if you can set like a crazy run without any of the HUD on, then props to you. We also have game mods. Now, we don't know if this is the full list of game mods, if cheats are still going to be in this game. We don't know, but they have added an option called game mods, which allows you to get perfect rail balance, perfect lip balance, perfect manual balance, never bail, and stuff like that. Whether those are going to be available just from the get-go, so you can just go ahead and turn them on, or if you need to unlock these, or whether these give you XP and money, because in the demo, you can put all of these on and you're still earning money to then again buy decks and stuff, we assume, in the full game. Hopefully it's not like that in the full game, because some people are just going to turn all that stuff on, just do stupid high combo runs, get a load of money, and just buy stuff pretty easily. So hopefully they change that. And hopefully we see some more mods like Big Skater and Thin Skater. Maybe like Zero Gravity would be cool to come back. I think the cheats are definitely a big part of the original. I remember having a lot of fun turning them on, and it would be a shame if they didn't make a return in this one. As I've mentioned multiple times through this video, we don't have access to like stats and stuff like that, but even the stats menu is just so reminiscent of the original games. You have the ability to put on different specials, and you can unlock more of them as you play through as a single skater, just like you could in the original. This really is just a love letter to those first 2 games. It seems Activision has really like nailed down remaking, remastering, whatever you want to call them, their old IP. We saw it originally with Crash Insane Trilogy, which did incredibly well. We then saw it with the Spyro Reignited Trilogy, which again did super well. We then saw it last year with Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled, which I believe has been the most popular and like well received out of the ones they've done. And now we're seeing it again with Tony Hawk. And it's the same 3 developers, Vicarious Visions, Beanox, and Toys for Bob. If you wanted any like old IP bringing back, being brought into the modern era and doing well, then you get one of these 3 developers who show that they have the love for whatever they're working on. Again, I know this is just a demo and we are still a little bit away from the full game. I will be doing probably like a full overview of the final game when it comes out. Not really a review as such, but just my overall thoughts when I've played through the whole game. But I was super excited when we'd heard about the leaks of this game coming back, when we actually finally saw it get revealed at the Summer Game Fest, the hype building up as they showed off new things from this game, and then finally playing the demo and just realizing, yep, this is perfect. This is what I want it to be. I can't wait to dive into this full game, complete all the levels, unlock all the secret skaters, secret levels and stuff like that. Again, I've already done a video talking about one of the new secret skaters, which is Officer Dick, being brought back into this game but as Jack Black this time. There are some other secret skaters which I have seen but I don't think are like out there publicly, and they are pretty cool. One of them is the Ripper from the Deluxe Edition, and another one is a secret skater that wasn't shown off in the original games but I think really works with 1 or 2 of the levels that are in these games. I think people are going to enjoy that. Hopefully we do get some classic characters like Private Carrera, maybe even Spider-Man, but from what I've seen that they've got so far, I think people wouldn't be disappointed with them. I may do a video on them if they get like publicly released, but at the moment I don't think they have been. So I'd love to know in the comments below, what do you guys think about the Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 Warehouse Demo? Is it what you wanted it to be? Does it feel like the original games to you? Have you come up against any problems? What do you think about the menus and stuff like that? I've seen a lot of people talking about gameplay, but they haven't talked about the overall design of menus. As someone who likes all that kind of stuff, I think they've done a superb job. The levels of detail they put into an area like Warehouse, I just hope they can continue that on through all the levels that we see in the final game. I know this might have been a little bit more rambly than you were expecting, but I'm just enjoying this game so much I had to talk about it. If you did enjoy it, then be sure to click that like button, because again, it really does help get this video seen by more people. The channel is slowly starting to grow more and more, which is super exciting to see. My goal is to try and hit 30,000 subscribers by the end of the year. We'll see if we can hit that. If you are new around here, then subscribe and help me try and reach that goal. If you'd like to, you can also keep up to date with me over on Twitter or on Instagram. That is at @IamMisterBo. Links to those in the description below. Make sure you stick around because I'm going to be covering all the information about this game leading up to September 4th. And then I'm going to have videos on like how to complete all the goals on every single level, how to unlock those secret skaters and everything else in the game. It's going to be a hopefully fun time. Apart from all that though, thank you very much for watching and for hanging out with me. I super appreciate it. Hopefully I will catch you in a future video. Until then, make sure you take care. Goodbye.